So we all know Bugs Bunny's up special, the Acme rocket, right? We all know about that. We send it straight upwards. But did you know originally the rocket was never supposed to come back down? Tony accidentally left gravity on while playtesting the character, and well, eventually the rocket just happened to come back down, so they just made it a part of the move. Dodging. Every character can dodge, but did you know that only 2 characters on the entire roster, Batman being one of them, can dodge upwards? That is right, Batman is only one of 2 characters that can actually dodge up. Everybody can do neutral, left, or right. They can all do that, but Batman is one of 2 characters that dodges upwards. And yes, you guessed it, or maybe you didn't, Superman is the second character on the roster that can dodge upwards. Now, I'm not sure exactly why only these 2 can. I figured maybe this was a superhero thing, but if we're testing other superheroes like Wonder Woman, as you can see, I promise I'm holding upwards, but she cannot dodge upwards. She just does a neutral dodge in place. I bet you never would have guessed that currently Raindog has the most number of costumes in game. I guess technically it's 15 costumes, but variants altogether, I'm including defaults in all of these, 16 total variants of Raindog, and that is the most for any character. Although Bugs Bunny's starting to give him a run for his money with the new Beetlejuice, what are they called? The Afterlife variants? Do I have that one? No. But the new Afterlife variants, Bugs Bunny now is in second place with 13 total alternate costumes or variants. Oh yeah, do not forget Velma. She also has 13, so she's technically tied for second most costumes in the game. Did you know voice lines are actually a thing for Raindog? Well, you can just play the little button down there in the bottom left and you can hear him kind of do a couple little grunts or growls or something like that. But the current version of his voice actually has changed. I believe it's still the same voice actor, but originally Raindog sounded a little bit more high-pitched. So here's a quick clip of the original voice for Raindog. Did you know that Beetlejuice is one of 2 characters that does not have a Tooniverse skin? Yeah, he does have the circuit drone and then of course the Matador, but the Matador bundled 3,000 Gleamium. No thanks. I like to collect stuff, but that seems like a pretty steep price. But he is one of 2 characters that does not have the Tooniverse skin. And of course the other one for some reason being Steven Universe. I mean, I don't know why he's still the only one that doesn't have it. Does anybody have this? I'm genuinely curious. Does Steven Universe have a Tooniverse skin? Has anybody bought it? The only ones I don't have, as you can see, are the Matrix Code and Shark Hat Steven. I got everything else, so for some reason Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice is understandable, but for some reason Steven still doesn't have his Tooniverse skin. Alright, next fact is, or I should say was a pretty cool one, but it no longer exists, and that has to do with Velma. So what am I talking about? Back in the open beta, Velma, when crawling on her hands and knees, when she's doing her looking for her glasses little animation, the screen for the person controlling Velma would go blurry. It was a really cool nod to the character. Well, now that we got Multiversus relaunch, if you go to Velma and you crawl on your hands and knees with her, the screen no longer becomes blurry. They took that little feature out of the game, I guess, for some reason. And I get it, maybe during the rebuild of Multiverses, when they're going from Unreal Engine 4 to 5, maybe this was just a feature that really wasn't a high priority for them, or maybe the devs forgot, but it is no longer in the game. Velma, the screen no longer changes to blurry or has a blur effect on it when she's crawling on her hands and knees. Have you ever been playing on the Batcave stage and you started looking around at everything in the background? Well, you'll notice Joker, you'll notice Catwoman's over there, even Alfred is on the Bat computer. But did you notice over on the left-hand side, a giant T-Rex? It looks like, I don't want to say it's an eyesore, but it certainly sticks out. It feels like it's out of place. Well, in fact, this is a reference to a older Batman comic where him and Robin, I believe, are trapped, or they spend like 30 hours or something like that in a animatronic dinosaur themed theme park, and well, that's actually where the reference comes from, so it's kind of cool that it's in the Batcave. This is Bugs Bunny's default variant. But did you know it didn't always look like this? Yeah, what was different, you might ask? Well, it was his gloves. He's got the white ones on now, but originally, way back in like 2021, the very early days of Multiversus, Bugs Bunny was actually rocking the yellow gloves, representing his classic Bugs Bunny look. And actually, his yellow gloves are still in the game, and they belong to his Maestro costume. As you can see, he still has the yellow gloves, so it's still representing the classic Bugs Bunny, which is nice. But yeah, originally his gloves were supposed to be the yellow ones instead of the white ones that we currently have. If you are a fan of Finn, and I'm sure many of you are, there is one accessory that Finn fans, or even Adventure Time fans, have wanted to see Finn have in Multiverses, and that accessory would be his metal arm. Well, did you know out of the 12 variants that Finn currently has in the game, one of them actually does have the metal arm? And if you guessed the Matrix Code variant, you'd be wrong, even though it's still kind of machine. No, it's actually his baseball look. As you can see when we zoom in on his right hand, he does have his metal arm, which is pretty cool, which sticks true to the original source of the character and, well, from the episode that it's from. So if you like seeing Finn's metal arm for some reason, I guess you're going to need to get yourself the baseball outfit. Oh look, another fact that includes Batman. We haven't had any of those in this video so far, but this one is kind of cool, I guess. Depends on how you want to look at it, but Batman is only one of 3 characters on the entire roster so far that have 2 or more legendary character variants. Do you know who the other 2 characters are? I'll show them in a second, but if you know, put them down in the comments. If one of the other characters you guessed was Wonder Woman, you'd be correct because she's got her Black Lantern Wonder Woman, one of the best costumes variants in the entire game. And then the other one being the Wave Guardian Wonder Woman. No, I did not buy this. And if the third character you guessed was Joker, you'd be wrong because he only has 1. But in fact, the third character that does is Jake, that has Cake and, well, Calico Cake. So, I don't know, 3 characters, Batman, Cake, and Wonder Woman. Only characters on the entire roster that have 2 or more legendary variants. This next one has to do with the Batman costume, his ugly sweater one for the winter holidays. But that is when he goes into the shadows, as you can see right now. His nose prop that he's wearing still glows in the dark, which I thought was a really cool one. Even when you slowly fall or glide, he still has the nose glowing, which I thought was a really cool touch to the costume, giving it just a little bit more of a, well, appreciation. Next fact has to do with Gleamium. So if you go over to the Gleamium and you look at all this stuff and you're like, there's all the Gleamium I can buy. Well, did you know you can actually see Gleamium details down there? And what it does is it tells you the last amount of Gleamium you purchased. I bought $100 worth of Gleamium very recently, so don't judge me too harshly. But it also tells you the amount remaining from the last purchase pack that you had. So when I bought the 12,500, I still have 9,020 left over from the previous pack that I bought. So I don't know. Anyone care about this? All right, I'll throw this one in the video because I get asked this still from time to time. But there is a bad language words option. Yes, that's what I call it, bad language words. But go over to settings, go down to audio language, and then go all the way down, find mature language. Click the, well, check mark, and then you'll start hearing some of the characters, not all of them, but some of them will have some choice words, shall we say. But yeah, I still get asked about this, so I'll include it in this video. So quite a while back, maybe like a month or 2 ago, that's still a long time, but Multiversus added a really fun feature in the game where you can try out any character in the game in the lab for free. You don't have to own any single character, which is a really cool touch, right? You don't know if you want to play as the character, you don't know if you want to spend some Gleamium or fighter currency or a character ticket on the character, so you can come to the lab to play him for free. The funny thing though is, you can't actually try on all the alternate costumes. I'm not sure why that's a thing. Like, what's the harm in trying on an alternate costume in the lab? What does that matter? I'm not sure, but it's actually locked for every single character. For some reason. I got nothing. Seriously. Did you know out of the entire roster, Bugs Bunny, Garnet, Gizmo, Shaggy, Taz, and Velma are the only characters that could fill out an entire D-pad of taunts. They each have 4 unique character taunts. They're the only characters in the game that have that, so I don't know, kind of a cool little thing if you're a fan of those characters.
What the hell is even that?
Did you know at the very beginning, Batman was actually classified as an assassin class? I've talked about this one before on the channel, but I figured I'll bring it up one more time. Did you know Garnet had this losing animation actually removed from the game? Samurai Batman, one of my favorite skins in the game. There's just a random fact for you. But that's not what this fact is about. Samurai Batman was actually the last Batman skin or variant for Batman, like an actual Batman theme skin. I'm not talking about his ugly sweater skin or, you know, the Matrix code. No, I'm actually talking about a costume that comes from the Batman universe. Samurai Batman was the last time Batman got a legitimate variation, and that happened to be released way back on November 15th, 2022. We're coming up on 2 years of Batman having no new source material variations. How's that possible? How does Batman not have any new alternate costumes? That's kind of crazy.